Basically, right?
But that's why I'm saying, like, yo, when you see Team Pakistan, that's why these guys was joking, like, so I'm not gonna say I was being racist. I was just being like, I was just letting you know what's gonna happen to that Korean culture now. Like, yo, seriously, you just failed, you just lost, like, so bad, like, I don't even know if you can go back to the drawing board.
Yo, so I know you saw that Virtua Fighter's back, right?
Nah, whatever.
I got a Virtua Fighter hater, so I gotta do it.
For the thousands in attendance and the
new Virtua Fighter
watching around the world.
Really?
Returning to the ring, a legend in his own right, a man who once dominated wrestling, who redefined what it means to be a fighter, and what dark design of fate has led him to face tonight. The very team that spelled an end to his glory days, that led to his controversial retirement, that shocked the world. Free from his pack tonight, he's hunting solo. The force of pain you can contain. Wolf Hawkfield.
So cool. So cool.
Yes. Freaking Will's gonna be all over that.
This is what I used to play this character a lot, man. So like this character did not look like this.
Nobody cares about 3-button games.
Nobody cares about 4-button games.
Nah, we're at 8 now. We're good.
With all your no, because but then you have 8. You have what? 1, 2, 3.
Well, now they got
5 buttons then. Because all your buttons are
so they got heat and they got rage, right?
But those but you can still use those by pressing the same 4 buttons.
Yeah, so that's what
you got macros though. You got macros.
What I'm saying is, like, yo, let's say if you play an arcade, right? These new guys, they wouldn't even know how to heat engage. They wouldn't even know how to use rage because they're like, yo, how do you do it?
I gotta use my macro. I gotta use my L1, my R2. You know what I'm saying? So the cool thing about this guy is so that's Wolf.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember him. Okay.
So he's a Native American, and Tekken Virtua Fighter kind of sucks with story. Story, there is no story.
They really didn't have no story on Virtua Fighter.
It's just some guys fighting, right? I
never liked it.
But basically, he was kind of like a really good, like a good guy, or whatever the case is. Now they're saying that he's coming back to the game and he's gonna be a wrestling heel. He's gonna be the bad guy. So, if you know anything about like wrestling and everything like that, right? Mm-hmm. When the good guy becomes the bad guy, like John Cena, you know,
like Triple H.
Yeah, well, Triple H was always a bad guy. Triple H was never a good guy. But when the bad guy, when the good guy becomes a bad guy, when The Rock became a bad guy and everything like that, like it's the best. When Stone Cold was the good guy, and then he became the bad guy.
John Cena's the one. He won WrestleMania this year, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
He betrayed somebody. He was supposed to be the good. He was supposed to be on the side of Cody Rhodes, and supposed to be the good one. And then he betrayed him, and The Rock was like, See, when you're young, everybody loves the baby face when you're young. So like, you know, I'm out here, and I told you when you get out here one time, we got to go to one of the wrestling because the WWE comes out here all the time.
I know, and it's like, isn't it like their headquarters out there?
It's not the head, but it's like back in the day, we were on like Florida and like Daytona was like the big place where they have all their big events at because nobody would kind of like host them. So we always was like a hometown thing, right? And
that's what, like, you know, of course I've been to plenty of WWE, like, you know,
events and everything.
Because like the thing is,
I've been to WrestleMania. Yeah.
Well, because in Seattle they came and stayed at the hotel where my dad's restaurant was at. And this is when I first saw. This is when Stone Cold was really big, and The Rock was just an up and comer, you know.
Oh yeah.
And literally, like, The Rock ate 8 chicken teriyakis, 100 freaking pot stickers.
Oh, you told me about that, yeah.
Yeah, and like The Rock, like he came in, he brought a stone in, and he gave it to him, and I was like, "Hey, can I get that?" And the guy that was like the manager or whatever for the whole thing, he came. He's like, "Here, man, here's 6 tickets for you and your family." I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
Nah, man. When like when they come here, like whoever's the bad guy, I don't really follow the story anymore. But whoever's the bad guy, they usually boo him, right? So the guy that they're booing, I'm like, yeah. Let's go. This is my guy, right? And like the little kids are like, I'm gonna kick your butt. They be like pointing at me, right? And their dad be like, calm down, son, and everything. But like, but when you're a kid, when you're younger, you always want to root for the baby face, the good guy. But when you're in the
you know, not our era, it was more like, yo, we were always about who was the baddest, like Ultimate Warrior.
yeah, nobody was really I mean, like Hulk Hogan was a good guy, Ultimate Warrior was a good guy until they turned heel. Then Hollywood Hogan turned heel, Sting turned heel.
Then you had freaking like Lex
Luger.
Yeah, because well, you know, it was all the muscle bins, and of course, then you know, the Giant comes out. And we're like, yeah, Andre the Giant.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying like, but like when you get older, you like to root for the bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Sting. Okay, like Sting going to freaking what was it? What was their squad? They were all black and white.
Then NWO.
Yeah, NWO. So it was like, you know, they had Hulk.
That's what the trailer looks like. So you're thinking about the NWO, right? Think about the NWO, and then watch this trailer again. That's what I got. That's the vibes that I got when I saw this trailer. When I saw this trailer,
NWO was like they had all the baddies on it. They freaking had Sting, that Hulk, you know,
Roddy Piper, like not Roddy Piper. They had the dude with the big arms.
No, but you know, also, you know, but Sting also. What's crazy is Sting. He retired out of NWO.
But check it out. Remember NWO? They'd be like Wolfpack.
Yeah.
It's the Wolfpack. It's the Wolfpack.
That's why they did this.
Yeah.
Look, it's a whole wrestling stage. Look at that.
Yeah. I'm sitting there like, yeah, baby, NWO, baby, Wolfpack.
You know what's kind of funny? I told Jeff asked me, my boss. He's like, yo, he's like, you rolling solo this time, or he's like, you bringing a squad? So I did some recruiting the last couple of days, and I found my homie Evi brought me 2 other DJs that he vouched for, and he says like, yo, man, these guys are dope. And I watched the videos and stuff, and I said, yo, all right. I was like, I'm coming back in with the team. So I broke the news and I said, now this video is giving me some ideas. I was like, yo, I know what I'm going to put out. I said, yo, I'm going to end my DJ career with the bang. Here we go.